Hey there, today I'm going to share with you my thoughts on the board game Babylon, where you get to build your own three-dimensional hanging gardens. Thank you for joining me here at Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp. Today, I'm talking about a new game from Geek Attitude Games and Flat River Group called Babylon. It's a competitive tile-laying game with a three-dimensional element for 2 to 4 players and takes about 40 to 60 minutes to play. In today's video, I'll give you a brief overview of the game, then discuss my critiques and commendations of the game. So, let's dive in. Players will take turns building their own hanging gardens with fountains, bridges, statues, and more. And here's how the game works. Each round starts with a token being drawn that may give players a bonus, or all the players a penalty, or everyone possibly a blank, so nothing really happens. On your turn, you choose a tile from the game box and gain pillars that you'll use to start building your hanging gardens. Eventually, you'll be able to start building decorative elements by matching the icons together from one tile to another, like bridges and fountains. Stairs, of course, need to go on a higher level. The other decorative element in the game are statues, and you're allowed to place them if they're in the same row or column as another statue. Now, the game is over after a certain number of rounds, and you count up points. Points for all your decorations and some other things. The higher the level, the more points you'll earn. Alright, I'm going to give you some critiques, and then I'll end with my commendations. Critiques. The tiles have been a little frustrating for me. When you're looking at them in the board game box, they are face down, and you see the different icons you want. So you might be going after making a bridge, so you grab a tile that has that icon. But you may also want a statue on that same tile. Well, each icon is in a different corner of the tile, and you might want the bridge icon on one corner and the statue icon in a different corner. And the way they line up on your board will matter. But when you place them, you actually flip it over so it's face up, and the icons aren't directly below, but on the other side, which you would think would make sense, but for some reason it really messes with my brain. Another critique is that there's a little dexterity issue going on. You'll need to be careful you don't knock the pieces over. So there's a little fiddliness to it, which sort of detracts from the gameplay. Also, there is a rule that you cannot build a tile directly on top of another tile. So as you build up, they are sort of off-center, so half is on and half is off. That's not the issue. But what is that sometimes you're trying to build a stairs, for example, and it takes careful planning. You could use large pillars to help you, but if you're just doing tiles and not using those larger pillars, you really have to place them perfectly to get them up to the higher levels and then get the correct decorations on them. Fountains aren't as hard, but there are other decorations that are more difficult to get, like those bridges and stairs correct. Okay, let's move to my commendations, my likes. First thing is the table presence. All the different hanging gardens that players are going to be building look really cool when they're done. No one's board is going to be the same. And speaking of pieces, I actually really like them. All the shapes are pretty cool. The pillars and the double pillars, the fountains, the bridges, the stairs, the statues. And another thing, all the pieces fit well in the box. And I like that the tiles not only fit well in the middle of the box, but you are actually using the box as part of the gameplay. And speaking of gameplay, there isn't a lot of player interaction. Just maybe players taking a tile that you might want, but I'm totally okay with this. I wouldn't want other people really messing with my construction, so it really totally works for me. In conclusion, I think this is a good tile laying game, and I think it has some unique things going on with the three-dimensional aspects. But it is fairly straightforward, which may appeal to some people, but I personally probably won't be playing it a lot. I want something different with a lot more going on, so I think I would choose other tile laying games like Castles of Manting Ludwig or Cascadia. But I would recommend it if you are looking for a medium-light board game with some pretty cool table presence. Let me know in the comments some of your favorite tile laying games. Please like and subscribe.